Imagine discovering that the life you lived for more than 4 decades was built on a lie you never knew existed. Imagine being told as an adult your name isn't your past isn't your past, and that somewhere out there a parent has been searching for you since you were a toddler. This is the story of Debra Newton, a woman recently arrested in Florida, and her daughter Michelle Newton, who vanished in 1983 and was just found more than 40 years later. In the spring of 1983, 3-year-old Michelle Marie Newton lived in Louisville, Kentucky with her parents, Joseph and Debra Newton. By all outward appearances, they were an ordinary family, but behind closed doors, the marriage was troubled, and within days, everything would change. On April 2nd, 1983, Debra Newton told her husband she had found a new job in Georgia. She said she needed to relocate ahead of him to get settled and prepare a home for the family. Joseph trusted her. There was no argument, no dramatic goodbye. Deborah packed up, took little Michelle with her, and left. Joseph expected to join them shortly after, but when he arrived in Georgia, there was nothing waiting for him. No Deborah, no Michelle, no job, no residence, no forwarding address, no explanation. Debra Newton and her 3-year-old daughter had vanished. What initially appeared to be a temporary move quickly turned into a nightmare. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. Joseph contacted authorities, and investigators soon realized this wasn't a misunderstanding or a miscommunication. Deborah had deliberately disappeared with her daughter. An arrest warrant was issued for custodial interference. Michelle was officially classified as an abducted child. Her face was circulated nationwide. Flyers were distributed. Tips came in and then slowly stopped. As years passed, the case grew cold. Joseph continued searching. He followed leads. He waited for phone calls that never came. He lived with unanswered questions and a grief that never fully settled. In the early 2000s, the investigation stalled. Prosecutors dismissed the case after losing contact with Joseph, and by 2005, Michelle's name was quietly removed from the National Missing Children database. Officially, the system no longer considered her missing, but Michelle had never stopped existing. Unbeknownst to authorities, Debra Newton had built a new life hundreds of miles away. She moved across state lines, eventually settling in Florida. She used another name. She married again. She blended into the community. To neighbors, she was just another friendly woman walking her dog, chatting in the driveway, living a quiet, unremarkable life. Michelle grew up believing the story she had been told. She didn't know she was missing. She didn't know her identity was false. She didn't know her father had spent decades searching for her. Her entire sense of self was shaped by a past that wasn't real. For over 40 years, the truth remained buried. Then, in the mid-2020s, something changed. An age progression image of Michelle was released, showing what she might look like as a middle-aged woman. The image circulated quietly, and then someone recognized something familiar. A tip was sent to Crime Stoppers. Investigators took notice. A U.S. Marshals Task Force began reviewing the case again. They compared old photographs of Debra Newton from the early 1980s with images of a woman living in Florida under a different name. The resemblance was striking. Detectives in Kentucky were notified. The case reopened. To confirm the suspicion, investigators obtained DNA from Deborah's biological sister in Kentucky. The results came back with a near-perfect match. After more than 4 decades, authorities had their answer. On November 24th, 2025, deputies in Marion County, Florida, approached the woman they believed to be Debra Newton. She was outside her home, walking her dog. According to neighbors, the moment felt surreal. Some thought it was a joke. Some assumed police had the wrong house. They didn't. Debra Newton was taken into custody and charged with custodial interference stemming from the 1983 abduction. Body camera footage from the arrest captured the moment when a decades-old secret finally came crashing down.
Hey!
How you doing, Miss Sharon?
Good, how are you?
Pretty good.
Uh-oh, they're coming for you, Sharon! They don't want me. They want Reggie. What's up?
Well, we're here for you, ma'am. Definitely here for you.
Whoa, why?
We're waiting on the detective to get here, but we have, with all the information that we do have, you have a warrant for your arrest.
They're teasing. They have to be
Ma'am,
teasing.
we're not.
Oh,
You can
oh,
back up.
oh,
You can
I'm
go home.
so sorry.
No, you're okay.
I'm so sorry.
Okay, go ahead and go home. Thank you.
I don't understand.
Yes, ma'am. So,
You're Sharon, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
all right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put you in handcuffs, okay?
Can I take my dog in and get my husband?
We'll give the dog.
I'll go ahead and get your husband, and we'll get your dog taken care of.
You want me to hold the leash for now? I don't want it. She's I don't think she's gonna get away. Well, you don't have to do that. I'm not gonna.
I gotta still put you in handcuffs,
Here,
man.
let me have this. I promise I will not hurt your dog under any circumstances.
We'll do it in the
right
front,
here with
okay?
your dog. Oop, if you're doing the front, you should move. I didn't do anything.
Not to get your watch where it's gonna pinch you or anything.
Remember that. Don't let him go because I don't have it. I don't know what they're doing.
Well, you guys, somebody's got to tell me something. What's going on? She has a warrant. All the information that we have. A warrant for what? For her arrest. Well, I'm gonna wait on the detective who can come explain to you just everything in just 1 second, okay? Here, give me that real quick.
Take it.
What's going on, Sharon?
I don't know anything.
I'll have Mr. Reggie. I'll have the detective come talk to you in just 1 second, okay? I gotta make a phone call. Okay? We're not in any kind of rush. Just give us 1 minute. I understand in the middle of your driveway. If you want to just step by the truck, that's fine too. Yeah, in the shade. Just give me 1 minute. Okay?
Mike, 967. The other units were 1012 detained.
Go ahead and take a seat for me. Need a hand? That's all right. You didn't do that. It's just a spare thing.
But the most shocking part of the case was still to come. Investigators then had to locate Michelle, now a woman in her mid-40s, and tell her the truth. When authorities contacted her, they delivered words that would change her life forever. They told her she had been kidnapped as a child. They told her name was Michelle Marie Newton. They told her she had been missing since 1983. And they told her that her father was still alive. Michelle had spent her entire life unaware of any of it. In the aftermath of the arrest, Michelle reached out to law enforcement in Kentucky. Arrangements were made, and after more than 40 years apart, Joseph Newton finally came face to face with the daughter he last saw when she was 3 years old. He described the reunion as overwhelming, like meeting her for the first time, yet feeling as though he had known her all along. A lifetime of loss, unanswered questions, and longing condensed into a single moment. Michelle has since said she intends to support both of her parents as they navigate the emotional aftermath of a truth that was hidden for most of her life. There's no simple resolution, no clean ending, only the slow process of understanding who you are and who you were meant to be. This case is a reminder that time doesn't erase the past, it only delays it. That missing persons cases don't always end in tragedy. Sometimes they end in truth, and that even after 40 years, justice, identity, and family can still be reclaimed. Thank you for journeying down this darker path. If you want more stories buried beneath the glitter of history, subscribe, comment, and let me know which forgotten truth you want uncovered next. Until then, remember that sometimes the brightest stories cast the darkest shadows, and here on Grimy Dates, we're not afraid to step into them.